main point is, unless you feel it yourself, it's very hard to believe. In other words, you start doing things without thinking. In other words, you don't make an initiative to do anything, and it starts happening. So unless you get there, and I don't know how you get there, it happens by itself.
No, wait a minute. Why did you say that? Why we don't know how to get there? वही तो कृष्ण भगवान बार बार बोल रहे हैं. See, you already got there, but हम लोगों के लिए वो कर्म योगा बहुत important बन जाता है ना फिर.
No, but I didn't make any effort to get there. It happened.
Because you already admitted that you did so much sadhana in your previous lives. 700 hours of meditation. अभी हम लोग कहाँ पहुँचे हैं वहाँ पे?
But I was so surprised because it was not just in doing meditation or anything, but it is like I gave a 33-bit microprocessor talk in Bangalore without knowing what I was saying, and I answered all those questions. And then later on, I asked the guy who was listening, I said, did I answer everything? He said, yeah. But I didn't remember anything what I said. So same way, when I met somebody, I spoke something, she started crying and hugged me, but I had no idea what I said. So when you get in that mode, then you are surprised that how it is happening.
True.
And it is possible. So
we are very lucky that you are actually, whatever we are studying, you are validating it with your own experience. We don't, a lot of times we don't know, and we say, hey, Joe has done it. That means it's possible. Imagine
so
we have.
Went through this, to me, this chapter, although everybody said Gita, surrender is most important, this is most important, but to me, this was the most scientific, practical way of reducing your karmas, stack, and you give up your desires, you receive your karmas and the action of the karmas. So you keep doing the things you are supposed to do as an action. And so it's very, very important, and this is very well explained in this one,
So this will keep opening up more and more. And in chapter 9, Bhagwan will say that, whatever you do, there's actual verse. Because our life is divided into like 4 kind of actions, and I don't want to go too much in detail, but जो भी दान तप जो भी कुछ करते हो सब offer मेरे को कर दो. So he gave you the path that if you do it this way, automatically your mind will get pure, and then you will slide into that samadhi. So effortless, काम भी करते चलो. किसी ने कुछ एक भजन गाया है, नाम जपते चलो काम करते चलो. It kind of sums it. Keep offering everything to Bhagwan, and then you will get purified. One day it will happen. So effortlessly also, if we have to follow them, we cannot put our own ego in there, our own thing in there. Then.
Do you think it is easier for men to do all this? You get rid of desires quicker than the men.
Sorry, क्या फिर से बोलना?
Do you think it is easier for men to get rid of desires than ladies, because we have so many things, to distract us?
I think that the way Swamiji explains, okay, it's not so much the male and female, it's your male and female attitude in your mind. So because sometimes, like they have used that word, and then people get very offended that, oh, Shudras and women and all, it's hard for them. That verse is going to come controversial verse, and Swamiji is going to explain that what it means. It just means that because women give birth to children, and they are mainly trying to, somebody's thing is not mute. Can everybody check and mute their, whoever is not. So women they need a little bit more certain qualities, of compassion, of this thing. So that has a tendency of attachment. That's why women get more attached to the families and things like that. So from that perspective, if we think like that, but on the other hand, there are many women who, if you understand this correctly, they have the quality of valor and strength and all that, not physical, mental. So then they are fit for it. So we may think that it is like that, but it is more your attitude in your mind.
No, but actually, I will disagree with Shireen, because all men have to go to the next stage of women. See, women is a higher stage than men. And because they already have those things which we have to develop, they already have those
What do
existing.
they have special? What is special in women?
Oh, they are intuitive. They are closer to. Actually, I was told about those 7 bodies you have to go through. First one is male, and then the second one is female. So when you improve yourself, then you go to the female level. In fact, if you
What is the third stage then?
Start cooking, guys.
Huh?
I said start cooking.
Who's
No,
go-
most best chefs are men, so it's not
But-
like.
But not in the houses.
Okay, let me tell you one thing. Krishna
No, they are
Bhagwan.
doing service.
Krishna Bhagwan's words, okay? I have to bring you back to Gita, I'm sorry. Because this is all a bahana. A women cannot do, men can do, all that, blah, blah. What did he say? Wherever you are, whoever you are, does not matter. Okay? So if that thought is coming to your mind, throw it out, because Krishna Bhagwan is saying, wherever you are, you're capable of moving from there.
The thought is coming because I see a lot of male, what you call, saints. I haven't seen many women saints.
I have seen many. I have seen equal number. I don't know how others feel.
I'll give you one example. There are 5 bhavas of Krishna. So if I want to learn or experience all the 5 bhavas, one of them is Sajna. Swami, Sukha, Sut, Guru and Sajna. You understand Sajna?
Like a beloved. Beloved.
Sajna is a lover.
Okay.
So you have to become like Radha to experience Krishna. In fact, Ramakrishna went through that. I mean, he developed breasts and all that. There's all this there in the literature. But
Yeah, they have statues also. One
Yeah.
portion female and one
Yeah,
male.
so-
Yeah, Ardhanarishwar, yes.
male have to go to that stage to improve. So actually, women have it easier because they already are there.
No, I disagree. Nobody has it easy. We all are,
I
yeah.
also disagree.
Yeah, it is like, I think it's equal. If you are a man, so you think women it's easier, and we are women, we think men it's easier.
No, there are certain things you have intuitive which we don't have.
Yeah,
We are more logical. We are all, everything has to be analyzed.
I think what Joe is saying here is that women are temperamentally, I think, more compassionate, more nourishing, and more nurturing, because they bear children, they have children, they raise families, they, take care of families and so on. So there are certain inherent qualities that they have to perform every day, even without realizing कि हम कर्म योगा कर रहे हैं, वो कर रहे हैं. Whereas I think that's perhaps what Joe is trying to say, that women in that respect perhaps are already doing things that men perhaps have to learn to do. I don't know.
I-
In fact, Osho, he went to a girls' college in Bombay, and he gave this talk on how women are more powerful than men. And although they have been suppressed through 5,000 years through men, because they felt that if they didn't suppress them, they'll be out of control and they'll take over. So he gave that talk, and then so many girls in that college rebelled that the trustees stopped him from coming. In fact, if I find that talk, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, Sushil ji has something to say.
Does it come in Gita anywhere that there's a difference between a man and woman? It does not. Every place it comes out, both are equal, and they don't even talk of gender. They say, when you talk about God, they say it's
There's no
gender.
gender.
It's not he or she. So there's no distinction that way. So whatever people are talking about in college and all that, that's at a different level. That's my
So
understanding.
they are talking at a practical level. They are not talking at the Gita level.
But we are talking Gita here, so I'm saying there's a difference.
Yeah, but we are talking Gita, but we are talking at a personal level, that if you say that women have weaker than men, then that is not true.
It's not true, absolutely not true. If wherever you say Devta, there's always an associated Devi along with that.
True. So they are both purak of each other. It's again same argument, I think, like two paths and all that. Hey, it's complementary to each other. And like our teacher used to say, Prakriti ko female bataya hai, Purush and Prakriti, right? Without Prakriti, Purush cannot do anything. And Prakriti is nothing without the Purush. So where is the argument? It's like and as far as self-realization, it is no bar. In what Sushilji said, we should focus on that. Otherwise, unnecessarily we feel weak. Oh, I am a man, that's why I cannot do it. No, nothing of that sort. Anybody can do it wherever they are.
I wanted to clarify one thing.
Yes.
Can I say something now?
Yes, obviously. Go ahead.
When we are talking about like how you said the stone is still and it has but still there's vibration going on. Same thing with action. All activity is actually intelligent vibration. So those who are doing wrong things, their vibrations are disturbed, and those who are doing good things, their vibration is actually good. So what is being actionless is actually stopping the vibration. When you stop the vibration, you become still. Then you are actually in a workless or in the occur mode. So that's what our goal should be, to stop this vibration, and you can do that when you're in your deep sleep. And the same thing through meditation and through good action, we can become in the worklessness state or in the inactivity state or occur mode.
No, but start thinking about doing things, and you will be in actionless mode.
See, one of the
Start thinking about doing means you still do the action. Believe me, you'll go to bathroom every 2 hours if you're old, but otherwise every 6 hours. You'll breathe. We have our blood flowing through our vein. We get old. There's no control over us.
Yeah, but when you are in meditative state, you are stopping your breath, and that's again you're becoming more still.
What?
When you are meditating, what is the meditative state that you're trying to?
No, he's not talking about holding the breath, because we all will die if we hold the breath.
No, but in meditation, that's what your goal is, to be rest.
No.
Meditation, the goal is that the universe takes over your mind and you don't exist.
You give up your ego.
As long as you know that you are there and you are meditating, you are not there. I mean, you can spend a lot of time doing that. But till you lose yourself, you are not there. So once you lose yourself, you start doing the works by itself.
See, Joe, when you are talking about it, you have already experienced it. And people who have not, it's very hard to suddenly go to that state. And that's why this karma yoga is prescribed for us. He's saying if you walk on this path, you will come to that state. It's something like if you take a fifth grader and start giving him the theory of some PhD student, he's not going to understand. So we gotta go.
So, Joe, how do you get into this divine state when God is speaking to you? That's by doing the right actions, by doing meditation, by doing good things. That's how you go towards that.
That is not in your hand. That's what I'm trying to tell. It is based on your previous lives, including this life. So when you come to this earth, you are there to do at least 3 things. One is your desires, karma, and actions of the karmas, which you are doing. The second one is you are part of this mosaic in the world where your role is fixed. It may be, being a housewife. It may be doing 25 things, maybe doing 100 things. But that is part of your job. And the third is the universe is working with you to take you to perfection. And without your knowing or not knowing is not the issue. So once you get this triggered, you know that it's taking you to the action. It will even tell you that you'll die then, or I'm postponing this, or do your action. But you don't do it yourself. So you have to start differentiating between it's your thought, because your mind, whatever it comes, is all nashwar. The mind will deteriorate. It's physical. So this thing is beyond physical. So the point is those 3 things are happening to everybody. You may be aware or not aware. So there's nobody, like this Sadhguru talk I loved. He said, nobody is higher, nobody is lower. You are in that state of time as your own. And so you cannot say that, oh, I don't have this and you have this. because it depends where you are. So once you, so, and then again, the universe is not human centric, but we are part of the universe. That's another thing.
No, whatever you said is true, absolutely. And to what you are talking about is being in that neshkarma mode, or non-doer, or a karta, or I am not the doer, or giving up the ego. That comes slowly with practice. That's all it is.
Yes. And that we are at this level now that we need to practice.
Yeah, we need
do
to
good
practice.
actions, do meditation to reach in that, so that the universe can become one with us. That's
Yes.
what it is.
So I think
that was part of your assignment in this life, that you will join this Gita group. A lot of people, they don't even know what Upanishad is, what Gita is. So they live all their life the same way because they are in a different stage of life. I don't know.
no, true. But everybody, whatever they are saying, it makes sense. Yes, yes, it's true. It's just that किस perspective से तुम देख रहे हो, वही है बस. You know, but for us, like Sushil ji said, it's better to think that I can also do it, and Krishna Bhagwan has given the sanction that you can do it. And अभी तो हम लोग सिर्फ warm up हो रहे हैं, okay? He's going to tell you in detail.
To all of us, some in this life, some in maybe 100 lives from now, some in next life. So we don't know. See, this is the beauty. If it was in our hand, we would have done it today.
Just enjoy the journey. Why don't you look at it that way? When I'm taking a journey, instead of being miserable, whatever condition I am, just enjoy. I'm like, if whatever you're saying, and that's true also. We are all going towards that.
But then how will you be udasin if you enjoy the journey?
Okay, I'm asking you that. There's a very good question. He's not saying don't enjoy. He's saying if don't rise above it. If somebody is above it, they can enjoy everything together. Totality they can enjoy.
Every bliss you get during this journey is higher than the previous one. And you say, oh, it cannot be any higher than that. And it continues. So there's no end to it. In the end, it doesn't matter. Because this enjoyment is only to your physical body. And so you start seeing your body enjoying, which is the second body you have. So you separate from your body and you look at your body. Even then, you haven't reached there yet, because you haven't lost both the bodies. And that is when the ultimate happens, then you don't know what's happening. Because even Ramakrishna used to ask later, how was I doing? What was I doing? What did you think if you read that book? So when he went in Samadhi, he had no idea where he was. So that's the way it works. Because you are part of the universe.
Anybody else has any comment, or whoever doesn't talk?
At the start of the class,
Yes,
Joe was going to say something about that forward, right, Joe?
One? About
Can I interrupt 1 second? I think Meena ji has something to say. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I said, as we talk about the Prakriti does the work, as I understand it. If you understand that, you're the witness and let the Prakriti do the work.
True.
So if you get it to that, as Joe is saying, at one point you become conscious of you being the witness, but then that is still objective because you have thought of that as a witness. Then there is another, beyond that there's the witness. That's what he's talking about, where you don't think it even of the witness, because that you don't objectify. You cannot keep on objectifying the witness. That I am the witness. At one point, you do come to know you are the witness of things happening, right? But then that itself becomes an object, and therefore, once it becomes an object, it is limited. That is beyond the mind. So that is the witness of the witness. That's what you're talking about, which you have to become. Then you don't define that witness. That's what you're talking about, seeing the body. You're saying I'm talking the witness, you're saying other body. That's what you're saying. There's a body which is witnessing this body.
Right.
right? And then there's a witness beyond that.
No,
That's what
because
it-
even that body is actually physical. It's not spiritual. See, that's what I was trying to emphasize. That there are two bodies we have. We may not realize that. And people who have separated their body, they can see that. In fact, I have a friend. He goes to astral world every time he meets people there who are in the second body. And in fact, I have this course which tells you how you can achieve that without doing any yoga.
But wait, I have one issue over here. When you say two separate bodies, in that ultimate state, it just feels like two separate bodies. It is actually not. It's one. That oneness is there. That's what Meenaji is saying.
No, it is really physical body because
No, I know that. But what I'm
you
saying is,
separate from it and you can be 20 miles away.
that is possible in the astral world. True. But from our perspective, it looks separate. From the higher state, it's not. That's what I'm saying. That's what Bhagavad Gita says, the illusion of
I'm just trying
separateness.
to tell the stages you go through to achieve that is, I'm just telling it happens by itself. You cannot initiate that. But the way it happened, at least in one case, which I can attach to is, in fact, that's what I'm writing about. Because there's one stage where you go through these. And then next stage, and in that stage, you cannot write anything because you are in that mode that you cannot write book or you cannot describe because you don't feel that way. So you have to go to the lower stage to see that this thing can happen before you can write anything.
Did Neeluji, did you want to say anything?
I just said that at the start of the class, Joe was saying something and you said we will discuss it at the tail end.
I thought he said he already did.
The video that you sent of Sadhguru. Is that the one you are talking about, Neelu?
I have no idea. You said we will discuss it later.
Yeah, that was the video that Sadhguru had talked about, that even if the whole humanity gets destroyed, the universe
Yes,
will
yeah.
improve.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so we think we are such a great person in this universe, but we really are nothing.
But coming back to Bhagavad Gita, it will tell you I think in chapter 17, Bhagwan says that this whole cosmos, when he talks about cosmos, it's all the, stars and galaxy, everything. He said, it is just a little part of me.
Yeah.
So, and if you, within the whole cosmos, our galaxy is nothing. Within the galaxy, our solar system, like the Sadhguru said, even it goes away, the entire solar system, nobody will even notice.
Right.
That's why he's saying don't have an ego. Because when we say, oh, me and mine and my ego, that he's reminding us, in what the Neeluji, whichever,
Also,
is very
we
nice.
think we know everything. That's another problem. So we really don't know anything. Humility. He said that 36 chapter में 36 श्लोक में है ना. Humility, faith, and Shraddha.
Well, he's going to talk about a lot of different values, and those are the main ones. But there are, 20 values, and he's going to talk 24 values. All that will be coming later. Basically, the values get a little more deeper and deeper, because superficially I may think that, I'm so great, but then he's going to remind you, do you have this also? You need to develop this also, this also. So it's a lot of depth is there in the values also.
That was very well explained, actionlessness.
Abhi-
Because
yeah.
he admitted that most people won't believe that.
Because it sounds, on the surface of it sounds ludicrous that, actionlessness means kuch kaam dhaam karo mat baith jao.
But we do that all the time. We are growing old. It is actionlessness.
Nothing to do with growing old. It's talking about your state actionlessness. You
No,
can do
I'm
that.
saying it's an action of our growing. And the blood is flowing through our vein is an action.
It's coming.
You make people quiet. I don't think actionless means just because you're getting old and you're sitting, you're not doing anything. I don't think that's what they're talking about.
No,
when
they're
this-
not. True.
action.
No. I'm saying that all these things are happening to us without us having control. And what do you think that the things we are doing as an action has our control on it? So if it is not under our control,
It has
if we
nothing
don't
to
take
do.
that action, it will happen. I know it's hard to explain.
No, it's actionlessness. I think literally they're taking as movement of the hands and everything, whereas what they're talking about is action is happening because mind is always churning, doing something or the other, and that is still an action.
Yeah, that's true.
That is still an action. So
So
you
if
can
you let
never
your mind go, if you let
can-
your mind go and don't think, it will make you do anyway. This is what I'm trying to get at.
I think whatever you're saying, all of you, have a little patience, because in the next verse, firstly we have to finish. We didn't even finish the commentary of Swamiji. It will open up a little more, and then he's going to say, true, like what you guys are talking about, that kind of action, it happens until we die. Whether we are old or not old doesn't matter at all, because the body is doing all these actions inside. Swamiji says, somebody says, when will the action end? From that perspective, is that when you are dead. Okay?
Yes.
And even after death, maybe for about half an hour, the action continues. Because some things are happening in the body. So you're talking at two different levels. So
We never die, only our body dies.
he's talking about body only. He's talking
Action is
about
not
body.
done by the body.
What I'm trying to say, he says that the body is not, when it's alive, it's not possible not to have action. Right? That's what Aminaji is saying, and it's going to come. It's going to come. So,
So, okay, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you all. Have a great week. See you next Wednesday.
All
Bye.
right.
Bye.
Thank you.
so
Bye, everybody. See you next time.
Okay. Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye. And
Yeah.
Shireen, you have to change your position. We cannot see your face. It's too
You
dark.
can't. What? Oh, dog.
Yeah, you need to.
Actually, I'm sitting beside the window, but the glare was too much for me.
Yeah.
Atma doing?
Okay. How is Atmaji doing?
Okay.
oh, Shireen, where are you? Oh,
You can't see me.
yeah, now I can.
Shireen,
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to know how Atma is doing. That is what everyone wants to know.
Can you hear me? Yeah, he's little better, I think. He's eating little bit, not too much, but